Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating questions in biology. Why do we age? We all know aging when we see it: wrinkles, slower recovery, gray hair, and unfortunately, increased risk of diseases like Alzheimer's, cancer, and heart disease. But scientists over the past few decades have narrowed down why our bodies decline. It turns out aging isn't random. It follows a set of biological patterns, often called the hallmark of aging. These are nine interconnected processes that scientists believe drive the aging process at the cellular and molecular level. Understand these, and you understand not only why we age, but also how we might be able to slow it down. So let's break down the hallmarks one by one, and along the way, I'll share analogies and some of the latest research done in this area. First up is genomic instability. Our DNA is like the instruction manual for building and running a human body. Every single cell has about 6 billion letters of DNA. Over time, this instruction manual gets damaged from sources like UV light, pollution, radiation, and even just errors during normal cell division. When damage piles up and isn't perfectly repaired, cells can malfunction. Imagine trying to build a Lego set with pieces missing or instructions smudged. You might still build something, but it is not quite right. Genomic instability is one reason older cells are more prone to turning cancerous. It's also why tissues lose precision in function, almost like a glitch spreading through a computer program. Second, telomere attrition. Think of telomeres like the plastic caps at the end of shoelaces. They protect DNA during replication. But every time a cell divides, these caps get shorter and shorter until eventually they are too worn down. Short telomeres act like a biological clock, telling cells when they have divided too many times. On one hand, this prevents runaway cell division, which could turn into cancer. On the other hand, it means healthy cells stop renewing themselves, contributing to tissue aging. Studies even link shorter telomeres with stress, poor lifestyle habits, and chronic disease. Next is epigenetic alteration. If DNA is the instruction manual, the epigenome is like sticky notes that say, read this chapter, ignore that one, highlight this section. Over time, these sticky notes can get shuffled around or lost. Genes that should stay quiet might turn on, and important ones might get silenced. This epigenetic drift can interrupt the finely tuned balance that keeps cells youthful. Excitingly, researchers are experimenting with reprogramming cells by resetting their epigenetic marks, essentially turning back their age on a molecular clock. That brings me to the fourth one, which is loss of proteostasis. Every cell has quality control system to make sure proteins are folded correctly and recycled if they are damaged. But with age, the system breaks down. Misfolded, clumped proteins accumulate like garbage on the streets when sanitation stops working. This is a huge driver for diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, where protein tangles clogged neurons. Proteostasis failure essentially means the cells cannot take out its own trash anymore. We are almost halfway through, and the next one is deregulated nutrient sensing. Our cells are constantly monitoring nutrients through pathways like insulin, IGF-1, and mTOR. These pathways coordinate whether cells should grow, store energy, or recycle materials. As we age, these sensors get out of tune. Imagine a thermostat that either overheats the house or fails to detect the cold. Interestingly, some of the most robust lifespan extending intervention like caloric restriction or fasting work by tweaking nutrient sensing pathways. In fact, drugs like metformin or rapamycin mimic these effects and are currently being studied as potential anti-aging therapies. Number 6, mitochondrial dysfunction. Mitochondria are the power plants of our cells, but over decades of use, they start to break down, producing less energy and more harmful byproducts like reactive oxygen species. The cellular smog damages nearby structures, accelerating decline. Low energy production also explains why older tissues lose vitality. Interestingly, exercise is one of the strongest way to keep mitochondria robust. Think of it as forcing your power plants to upgrade instead of rusting away. The seventh hallmark is one with a fun nickname: senescent cells or zombie cells. These are cells that stop dividing due to damage or telomere loss but refuse to die. Instead, they just hang around secreting inflammatory signals that harm neighboring cells. It's like having bad apples rotting in the fruit bowl. One starts to stink and then the rest follow the course. Scientists are developing drugs known as senolytics to clear the zombie cells, and in mice, removing senescent cells has extended healthy lifespan. Number 8, stem cell exhaustion. Stem cells are like the repair crew of the body, able to turn into new muscle cells, blood cells, immune cells, and more. But with age, these crews get tired, their numbers decline, and the ones which are left do not work as well. As a result, tissues struggle to repair themselves after injury. That's one reason why wounds heal slower in the elderly, or why blood production weakens, leading to immune decline. And finally, the last one, altered intercellular communication. Cells do not work in isolation. They send signals, hormones, proteins, messenger molecules back and forth. With age, this messaging system gets distorted. Often, it turns pro-inflammatory, chronic, low-grade inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging, which spreads through the entire body. This inflammation is linked to almost every major age-related disease. It's like the body's internal communication lines are getting filled with static instead of clear instructions. Cells hear a constant background noise of stress, which doesn't make it work or function properly. So those were the 9 hallmarks of aging. Just to summarize: DNA damage, telomere shortening, epigenetic drift, loss of proteostasis, nutrient sensing errors, mitochondrial decline, zombie cells, stem cell exhaustion, and the last one, faulty cell communication. Each one contributes to the slow breakdown of our system, and importantly, they overlap and reinforce each other. But here is the exciting part. Researchers are beginning to target these hallmarks to extend not just lifespan, but health span. The years will live free of disease. Think about it. Instead of just living longer, the idea is to live better. In my next video, I will talk about the remediation part quite in details. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it, and let me know in the comments which hallmark do you think is the most fascinating one, or maybe the most promising one which could be targeted for future anti-aging research. Thank you for listening. Take care now. Bye.